Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video I wanted to give you a couple of tips about how you can deal with G in Street Fighter V. Certainly he is one of the best characters in the game. My opinion on G changes depending on which day is it. Some days I think he is a broken character, and some days I think he's just plain overpowered. Obviously G has the highest robbery factor in the game. I don't think there's even debating that. Maybe it's him or Abigail, but they are the biggest thieves of Street Fighter. And that is because of his V-Trigger. His V-Trigger essentially transforms Street Fighter V into a survival horror game. So, on top of that, he also has a really good neutral, really solid zoning, really solid anti-zoning, good rush down, one of the best buffers in the game. He is excellent all around, amazing super. G got everything honestly outside of having a DP. So let's first talk about the neutral game and what you can do in the neutral versus G. G's effective range is the range that we are looking at right now. That is where he can play his fireball game. They all have the same range or have the same angle even, but they just have different starter and different recovery. He then also has the dash punches. His dash punch is only -4. So at -4 it is not that bad. The EX1 or the level 3 one or the maximum presidentiality one, this is -6 I believe. But at -4 you are getting a jab punish here. It's nothing too dramatic, but it's always important to knock G down, right? His other option is of course the dash low. And the dash low is -8, especially if he does the EX. The other ones are -6. So you are getting a medium punish. So it is not dramatically bad here. You're also getting something decent. Now his final option in the neutral, and one that is really good actually, surprisingly in my opinion, is the wheel kick. This attack is really good because it will hit you airborne most of the time. It also covers a fair bit of distance. But this thing is -5 on block, so if he poorly spaces it, you can punish it with something like that. Maybe even jab. Yeah, this is a real punish. At -5, some characters can punish this. The ease of punish will depend on your character, and if you have a good punish at -5 from a distance. If your character have a sway or a parry mechanic, you can actually parry or sway this with certain ease. In my opinion, I was able to sway it with Cody in 3-bar games, so I'm sure you can do it if you just practice on this. With a little bit of training you can get this down, I believe. It is always important to get a knockdown or punish G whenever possible, so make sure that you are at least able to either punish it or maybe able to parry it or sway it, or get something out of it depending on your character. So now I wanted to bring up another scenario that happens a lot during the G matchup, and that is when he is pressuring you, especially in the corner, and doing block strings into fireballs. So something that will happen fairly often is a scenario like that. You will see G player doing a block string into a heavy fireball like that. Of course, the reason that they are doing this is that the heavy fireball is the safest fireball on block. So if we had him do the same sequence, this fireball is only -4. -4 from this distance means of course he's safe. If he does the medium or the light, let's have him do the light. The light is -8, so at -8 he's eating a punish. Of course there is some pushback here, but many characters, even from the distance that he was doing it from initially, many characters can punish on a -8. So they will do a block string to the heavy punch fireball. The thing is, you can always interrupt this with a 3-frame. So if I try to 3-frame here between the heavy punch and the jab, I should be able to interrupt him and get an interruption here. It's kinda hard though, you have to time it really well. And the block stun is kinda weird. If you have a 4-frame, you will trade. Sadly, 4-frame characters will get a trade here, so the situation is not very favorable. Kinda sucks, but if you have a 3-frame, that's really good for you. If you don't, you're getting a trade like that, which is not the end of the world. The other thing is that you can also use fireball invincibility if you have that. So if you have a move that's Firewall invulnerable, doesn't even have to be from frame 1, something like from frame 3 or after, will be able to get through this reliably. So this is a decent option versus G's Fireball Pressure, and I think you can react to it. I think the heavy Fireball is reactable enough. There is a little bit of startup. Of course you can also super. This is all really good solid options. So there is some options here. One thing I also like to do is just V-reversal. When I notice that G is doing fireballs, I like to V-reversal it because it gives me the knockdown and it makes him lose the presidentiality level. So if we here have G, this is the same sequence, but G is doing it after he's gonna do the medium fireball, and he's at level 1. As you can see, now he have a level up. So what I like to do here is maybe V-reversal. If your character have a knockdown V-reversal, it's not a bad idea to throw it out there, because this will, this will give you some ground and it will make him lose the level up. So this is all really good. It is stuff that you want to do. So now I wanted to talk about the survival horror aspect of G, and that is his V trigger. So of course G does have a couple of really popular V trigger activation. Preferably you want him to activate on block. Ideally you want him to get the activation on block, because the activation on hit can be really deadly. So G will activate from standing medium kick. They will try to fish for the standing medium kick. This normal is amazing, have great range, it's very hit confirmable. If he activates this from block, it's honestly not that big of a deal because it doesn't leave him in throw range. So if he does this, unless he's really close, of course, if I do that, of course, yeah, I'm gonna be in throw range. But typically he will do it from like this distance, and if he activates from that, he have to dash or something, and then you can react to the dash. The other popular activations are his double heavy kick, the double hitting heavy kick, and this have a little bit of pushback. So even if he does activate from this one is pretty risky, but you can reversal this activation. And the second one is of course the forward heavy punch. The forward heavy punch is this is a very strong activation actually. And of course the most dangerous ones, or the most dangerous couple, are the EX dash punch and the EX low. Each one of these is dangerous for different reasons. So first of all, the EX dash punch, if he does this, if you block, he's at perfect plus frames to do the EX command grab. This is a perfect X throw. And of course on hit he gets a full combo. The EX low doesn't actually do that, he's only +4 on this activation, so it's not dramatic advantage. But of course the danger is that it is hitting you while you're trying to walk back. So a low activation from a range like that leads to combos, that's very strong. So the thing that you'll have to know is that you need to V-reversal his dash punch activation. When G does the EX dash punch activation, this one, because like we said, if you don't V-reversal this, you're guessing for the game. Like, this is a 50-50 guess between a hit or a command grab, but if you V-reversal it, he can't throw you, he can't do a command grab at this point, but he will get a guaranteed throw. He can actually always get a normal throw here. So he will get a normal throw, but you will not be able to command grab you. If he does it from the low, he can't like even throw or command grab you at all. If he activates from the low, a V-reversal will get you out of the situation every single time. This is the ideal case. Now the thing about the activation from normals is that he will still get the command grab. So if he does say forward heavy punch, you try to V-reversal, he can actually command grab you out of this. So be careful of which one you want to V-reversal. The main ones that you will want to V-reversal is the EX dash straight and the EX low. The EX low, you're completely safe. The EX dash straight, he will get a guaranteed throw here, but you will not get command grabbed, and that is the case. You don't want to get comboed pretty much. This is how you kinda safely escape his V-trigger activation. Of course, it goes without saying, try to not get hit by his normals, the standing medium kick, the standing heavy kick, and the forward heavy punch. They are the most dangerous activations. So now I wanted to talk about a couple of things that G can do in V-trigger and outside of V-trigger, and generally how you can play around them. The very first thing is when G is pressuring you or when you're being attacked by G, it is important to be active on defense. He's one of the characters where I think it's really important to be active on defense. That means that backdashing, challenging, jumping, all of these options, typically they are not, I wouldn't, encourage them that much. But versus G, I really do, because this is a character where you can't take the command grab. So, for example, when G does a block string like that, and that is a very, very famous block string, right? They will do something like this. What you need to know is that you can maybe backdash after the second hit and the third hit will whiff. So here we're exploring that backdash is a decent option, right? You can backdash here. The thing that you have to know is that after this block string, he have to micro walk into a command grab, as you can see. So with something like this, it's honestly not a bad idea to challenge, or maybe again, like we said, just backdash. And maybe that will get us out of the command grab. Maybe challenge with the DP. All of these are not awful ideas. You have to be active on defense, because if you're standing still, you are making the G player's job way easier. He will pressure you for free. So now I wanted to talk about two other sequences that happens commonly in V-Trigger. The first one is flip kick attack. They will do the flip kick into the V-skill. And this is a block string. If blocked from up close like this is a block string. So even if I try to mash, nothing is coming out. I'll show you my inputs. Even if I try to mash DB or whatever, nothing is coming out. I'm truly in block stun. But the thing about this is, if you manage to block this from a bit of range, you can neutral jump here and make the V-skill whiff and get a combo punish on him. So if I block this from a correct distance, like say here, I can neutral jump here and get a full combo punish. I would recommend actually doing this because it's kinda reactable. You maybe play like a fireball game, see him or bait him into the distance that you want him to do this from. Boom, bam, bada boom, and you get a punish on him. I have done this on games already. It is something that kinda works because a lot of the idea is if he does this and you jump, he will tag you with this. If you try to jump while he's doing it, you'll get hit, he get here, he gets a full combo conversion. So they will go for this strat a lot. And like I'm saying, if you block that wheel kick from a decent range, neutral jump, and you get a combo punish here, it's not bad at all. The other common sequence I see a lot is this, doing the EX dash low to the V skill. Now, this is common because this will make the EX dash low safe. What you can do here is use something with fireball invincibility, so maybe something like Ken's V-Trigger 2. Let's try this out. Maybe something like this will work. This is a good option. If your character have a super, I will honestly just super here. And now I'm failing at it. Just super because this is -8. If you do the super, if your super is not awfully slow, you get a punish anyways. So if you play a character like Ken, Chun-Li, I would super at every chance I get because it's a way out. And like we said, maybe DP will work, but this will be a character by character thing. As you can see, Sen can get hit with the XDB, but he can do the V skill to V-Trigger 2. So it is a character by character thing. You'll have to go and look for your character's options. Some characters may be able to parry it from specific ranges, but I don't recommend going for that a lot. So this is something that you will have to experiment, but there is absolutely a gap there. So I would recommend going with something with invincibility or going straight for super if you can. Of course, with all of that being said, there is still a lot of guessing involved. I just told you some of the gaps, some of the holes that you might be able to exploit. But otherwise, G is still a very, very strong character. If your character have a good option for changing the jump arc, like Ken with the EX Tatsu or the neutral jump and all of that, maybe that will be decent versus G, but still, he's a very, very strong character and you will just have to make the right reads. Beating G all comes to making the right reads, playing as safe as possible, and out neutraling the G player as much as possible to avoid getting into these bad situations. I have done a video like that for a couple of characters now, and I will be leaving them in the description below, so you should go check them out if you want. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe or share, it all really helps. Thank you for watching and stay safe.
this. And this is true. But can you cross through? But can you cross through? Yes.